Through constant practice of yoga, one can overcome all difficulties and eradicate all weakness. Pain can be transmuted into bliss, sorrow into joy, failure into success, and sickness into perfect health. Determination, patience, persistence lead us to the goal. Pranam dosto, today I will share some asana and pranayam related to high blood pressure. I hope these asanas and pranayam helpful in controlling Padmasana or lotus pose. Padmasana is a meditation pose. Those suffering from stiff leg, knees, ankles can overcome this difficulty by regular practice. We begin by placing the right foot on the left thigh and the left foot on the right thigh. The position of heel adjusted so that they are both pressing on the nearest part of the abdomen. The hands are kept upon a rest on the knees, palms in the air with the tips of index finger touching the thumb, thus forming a small circle called Gyan Mudra. The hand may also rest flat on the knees. Benefit: this posture develop physical and mental stability, calm the nerves, relieves the stiffness of knees and joints. Shashankasana or pose of the moon. Sit in Vajrasana, placing the palms on the thighs just above the knees. Close the eyes and relax. Keep the spine and head straight. While inhaling, raise the arms above the head, keeping them straight and shoulder width apart. Exhale while bending the trunk forward from the hips, keeping the arms and head straight in line with the trunk. At the end of the movement, the hands and forehead should rest on the floor in front of the knees. Retain the breath for up to 5 seconds in the final position. Then simultaneously inhale and slowly raise the arms and trunk to the vertical position. Keep the arms and head in the line with the trunk. Practice 3 to 5 rounds. Contraindication: not to be performed by the people with very high blood pressure, slip disc, or those who are suffer from vertigo. Benefit: this asana stretch and strengthen the back muscles, release the pressure on the disc. Often nerve connection emanating from the spinal cord are squeezed by this disc, giving rise to various forms of backache. This posture helps to relieve this problem in some cases and encourages the disc to resume their correct position. Benefit: Viprit Karni, the inverted pose. In Sanskrit, Viprita means inverted and Karni action. This exercise is called Viprit Karni because when practiced, the body take up as an inverted position, that is the leg above the head. Technique: lie on the back, inhale as in complete yogic breathing, exhale and raise the legs and hips with the help of arms. Bend the arms, hold the hips in the hand so that the body is supported on the elbows, shoulder blades and head. The legs should be at an angle of 70 degree with the ground. Practice abdominal respiration and direct the attention to the thyroid gland. This position may be kept for as long as one feels comfortable. To finish, lower the legs gently to the ground and relax in the starting position. Repeat the exercise 2 or 3 times. Benefits: Hatha Yoga considers the inverted position to be the most important exercise of reviving the body. The three main inverted postures are Viparit Karni, Sarvangasana and Shirshasana. Viparit Karni is the easiest of the three to execute. In this position, the blood flows abundantly to the neck, throat and head, so that the thyroid and pituitary gland plus the nervous center of the brains are all regenerated. The pose also prevents formation of wrinkles and can cure goitres. Supta Uttarakarsanasana. Lie in starting position and relax. Bend the knees and place the sole of both feet flat on the floor, directly in front of the buttocks. Breathe in, and while breathe out, slowly lower the legs to the right, trying to bring the knees down to the floor. The feet should remain in contact with each other. This will give a uniform twisting stretch to the entire spine. Exhale while lowering the legs to the sides. Inhale while rising the legs. This asana gives an excellent stretch to the abdominal muscles and organs, thereby helps to improve digestion and eliminate Ardha Mastendra Asana. This asana is named after Yogi Mastendra. Ardh means half. Place the left heel under the right thigh and cross the right leg over the left thigh with the right foot flat on the ground. Hold the big toe of the right foot with the left hand, passing the arm in front of right knee. Slowly turn the head and back to the right, stretching the right arm out behind and placing the right palm on the ground. Breathe regularly, directing the attention to the spinal column. Remain in the posture for a moment, then begin the other way around. Ardha Mastendra Asana. Transmit to the spinal column 2 sideways twists, one on the left, other on the right. It is therefore very useful asana. It has great curative value and corrects spinal deformities. It has a beneficial effect on gallbladder, kidney and bowels. Shavasana. In Sanskrit, Shava means corpse. This posture derives its name from the fact that one lies on the back like a corpse, with mind and body totally relaxed. Technique: lie on the back with arms at the sides, legs stretched out and slightly apart. Close the eyes and breathe slowly and deeply, as in complete yogic breathing. Begin by consciously and gradually relaxing each part and each muscle of the body. One should let oneself go completely, like a cat when it relaxes, letting the muscles go. It should seem as though one can no longer feel the body. Benefits: often a tense body and irregular breathing are the cause of bad health. Rhythmic breathing in Shavasana is therefore extremely for the entire body. Anulom Vilom Pranayam or Nadi Shodhana Pranayam. In Sanskrit, Nadi signifies a channel allowing the passage of vital energy of prana. According to yoga, inhaling by right nostril produce heat in the body and inhaling by left nostril produce cold. This is why yoga is called the right nostril Surya Nadi and left nostril Chandra Nadi. Technique: sit in Padmasana position or cross leg. Place the index finger of the right hand in the center of the forehead between the eyebrows. One should begin by exhaling completely, then close the right nostril with thumb and inhale through the left nostril. Then exhale from the right nostril. After that, inhale from the right nostril and exhale from the left nostril. This forms the complete cycle. Benefit: this is one of the most important pranayam for establishing the equilibrium of positive and negative current, bringing life to the body. It calms and purifies nerves, stabilizes mind and increase mental until to exhale stability. It's felt. Once the breath has been held in accordance with the personal capacity, it is rhythmic breathing or deep breathing. This pranayama is neither difficult nor dangerous, so everyone can practice it. Technique: when performing the breathing pattern, sit in cross-leg holding the chest, neck, head in a straight vertical line with hands on the knees. Inhale as in complete yogic breathing, mentally count 6 to 8 heartbeats, then slowly exhale through the nostrils, again count 6 to 8. Repeat the exercise several times. The beginner should concentrate particularly on acquiring a rhythmic breathing pattern without straining to prolong the duration of inhalation and exhalation. Once rhythmic breathing has become almost automatic, we ought to feel each inhalation is feeling